Good morning and welcome to Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living and our Sacred Sunday service. I'm Ruth Hall, President of the Board of Trustees and the production manager for today. We're so glad you joined us, and I want to take this moment to remind you, especially if you're new, that this service will be recorded and posted on our social media. We post to Facebook and to YouTube in order to grow our community and to let people know who are new that they have a community to come to. You're welcome to turn off your video and change your username if you'd like to. And remember that after the service, we have a fellowship time that will not be recorded. And you'll have an opportunity, if you like, to ask for a complimentary spiritual mind treatment from a practitioner in a separate private breakout room. And so now I would like to introduce our wonderful Reverend Sharon Dunn, our senior minister. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Doing good.
So I want everyone to unmute and then say good morning to each other and then mute again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, hello, Diane. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Yeah. Everybody.
That's my favorite part.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, so how about a little bit of opening? Can you still hear it? It's amazing, isn't it? Wow, best bell ever. So I have the honor and privilege of introducing our practitioner for the day, which is Margie. She is a beautiful light, an absolutely beautiful light. She comes to us from Rafe's community and joins us, and I am so grateful. She's been a practitioner for a very long time, and you can tell by her grace, just by the way she carries herself and her prayers. So Margie, go ahead and invoke us and start us off.
Margie, we need you to unmute, please.
And knowing that this one love is right here, right now. Knowing that this love surrounds us, is within us, above us, below us. We're like fish in water of this love, of this divine presence. And we are blessed today with Reverend Sharon's message, the music, and the sharing of all that our talents invoke. And so it is. Our vision is we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission is we inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science and mind. Our purpose, in joy and love, we connect in service to all life.
So this morning we have a very special gift. India Arya is an American singer-songwriter named to Oprah Winfrey's Singer Soul 100 list of visionaries and influential leaders. Her song today, entitled Give Thanks, has been put to a beautiful video of Reverend Sharon Dunn's photography. Please enjoy our special music and video, Give Thanks.
And our readings for today are: 1, divine forgiveness. Neither the consciousness of spirit nor the laws of the universe hold anything against us. Whenever we turn to them in recognition and acceptance, we immediately flow through us. They immediately flow through us, imparting the divine givingness into our experience.
I will do this one. Forgiveness means reconciliation in spite of estrangement. It means reunion despite hostility. It means acceptance of those who have been unacceptable. It means reception of those who are rejected. Forgiveness is unconditional, or it is not forgiveness at all.
Yes. Forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Perhaps one of the greatest phases in sacred literature, places immediate salvation within the reach of all, but automatically causes us to suffer so long as we impose suffering. We could not ask for a more complete justice, a greater givingness, nor a more exalted concept of the divine forgiveness. The nature of God is revealed as infinite tenderness coupled with exact law. Matthew 5, the Beatitudes. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, do not resist the evildoer, but whomever strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other to him as well. And if someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your coat also. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to the one who asks you, and do not reject the one who wants to borrow from you. And so it is. And now, please enjoy our guided meditation by Deepak Chopra.
This meditation is about gratitude and forgiveness. Gratitude opens the door to abundance consciousness, and forgiveness allows you to get in touch with your soul. Forgiveness is absence of peace. Forgiveness is letting go of resentments, grievances, anger and hostility and judgment. Nelson Mandela once said, holding on to a resentment is like holding on to poison or drinking poison and hoping it'll kill your enemy. It doesn't work. If you embrace gratitude and forgiveness, you will find that you open the door not only to abundance, but infinite creativity, which is an expression of your soul. Please close your eyes and observe your breathing. Do not manipulate your breath, just observe it. If you're distracted by thoughts, noises, or sensations, just gently come back to your breathing. Allow your mind to settle into your breath. Now, with your eyes closed, put your awareness into the area of your heart. And just mentally ask the question, what am I grateful for? Just ask the question, let it go. What am I grateful for? Allow any sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts to come to you. Just do this for a couple of minutes. What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Ask the question, let it go. What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Allow any sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts to come to you. Now, keeping your awareness in your heart, mentally say to yourself, today I will judge nothing that happens. Repeat that a few times, mentally, with your eyes closed, with awareness in your heart. Today I will judge nothing that happens. Today, I will judge nothing that happens.
That's quite a meditation, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Today I will judge nothing that happens. I suppose that means we have to stay off social media, stay at home, turn off everything, stay under the covers, right? Good morning. Good morning. What am I grateful for? All of you. I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn. I'm the senior minister at the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, which is right here and right now. We call this our virtual sanctuary. And our theme for the month has been Cosmic Connections. And our topic for today is Love Can Build a Bridge. And I have been thinking a lot about this topic, a lot about what's going on and how we can make this relevant to what's going on. So, without getting political as far as one side or the other political, we can say that we can see the result, right? When we cannot reach bipartisanship, when we cannot reach agreement or cooperation, when we are not willing to compromise, this is called suffering. For the next 2 weeks, we are at choice to either suffer or be at peace. And we're going to talk about this today in 3 points. 1 is forgiveness is an inside job. 2, forgiveness is to be forgiving. And 3, love can build a bridge. So Confucius says, before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Resentment weakens while compassion elevates consciousness. That's from Reverend Sharon. Resentment weakens while compassion elevates consciousness. We are globally in our country and around the world being watched. These next 2 weeks are very big for this country. And I want us to be in choice at all times during the next 2 weeks. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to use forgiveness as a spiritual practice. Forgiveness at its highest ideal is about restoration of harmony and systemic equilibrium. It is the revealing of God as healing, as we say there's nothing to be revealed, only God. There's nothing to be healed, only God to be revealed. In some cultures, forgiveness requires giving a gift. And I looked at that this week and I thought, our teaching is the gift we're going to give the world for these next 2 weeks. And I know each one of you has been in this teaching for a while. You live this teaching, you know this teaching. You know that we have spiritual practices that we can rely on to get through not only what's going on in our country, but to bring ourselves better health and wellness and well-being. Because what we're going to learn here and what we know is that resentment and revenge is bad for ourselves. It's bad for our health. And it's a bad influence for those around us. We talk often how we influence others by our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. So I define forgiveness here, a practice used to describe ways of coping with interpersonal conflict and resentment. Focused more on forgiving others and self-forgiveness rather than seeking forgiveness or reconciliation. And last, where motivation becomes less vengeful and avoidant and more benevolent. I just love that. So here's what we're going to work on in the next 2 weeks. Are you with me? Where we are motivated to become less vengeful and avoidant and more benevolent, more giving, more forgiving. And what are we giving? We are giving love. Love can build a bridge. So we're going to start out with forgiveness as an inside job, and self-forgiveness, self-healing, is a spiritual practice that we can rely on in the next 2 weeks, because I don't know if I'm the only one or if you join me here, where I can be very judgy about what's going on in the world. I can be very judgy. I can be very judgmental. I can condemn. I often say judgment is good to know where we are in relativity. Then we go into discernment to know where we want to go in that relativity. And when we slip into condemnation, we've gone too far. And I find myself getting very agitated and plugged into the divide, to the separate ways of thinking. And what is suffering if it is not feeling separation? So in self-forgiveness, we contribute to the collective consciousness. And that is the transformative work. I need something to do in the next 2 weeks to calm myself, to enjoy my life, to trust in spirit, to trust in the highest ideal. Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Well, when I go low, I have the opportunity to look at that, to feel the feelings of it, and to go high. I know how to do that, and I know you all do as well. So the question is, can I deeply and truly forgive myself for my reaction, for my contribution to the divide, my contribution to separation? Can I deeply and truly forgive those who have trespassed against me? Oh, you don't agree with me? What must you be thinking? How could you possibly think that way? And am I willing to do the inner work in order to do my part in raising the consciousness of love in the world? Am I willing to do my part? I am. And I think I'm really willing to do my part because how I've been feeling physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually around all of this, all of the intensity. There's so much going on. We must be gentle with ourselves. There's so much going on. And it seems to me that there's a heightening, there's a quickening that's going on for the next 2 weeks before the election. So am I willing to begin right where I stand and encourage people who are closest to me to begin to build bridges of forgiveness? So personally, my theme this week in looking at this topic has been anger and resentment. Isn't that funny when we concentrate on something, everything like it shows up for us, either to be healed or just to be sitting in it? And I have really been experiencing anger and resentment. More than once this week, someone has told their story about me and made me angry. And I had to sit with that anger as the story played in a loop, repeating itself over and over again. Has that happened to you where something's bothering you and it just keeps, it keeps circling? It's like music that you set up as a loop and it plays over and over without stopping. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. And I look at that and I think to myself, the only way I can stop that loop is to grab a hold of it and do my inner work. I need to look at it. First thing I do is ask myself, what am I afraid of? Because for me, it's either fear or faith. When I'm in fear, I'm uncomfortable, I don't feel good, and I have a tendency to play that over and over until I can resolve it. So I took a deep dive into the discomfort. And of course, this was family. Family is the fastest way to self. And I realized that what I was afraid of was that the gossip that was said about me would become family folklore. Like it would be that people would believe that of me. I was afraid that people would believe that of me. So there had to be something in me that believed it in me. That was very uncomfortable for me. And so I decided that I would face my fear. And because the relationship that I have with the person is a relationship of a committed relationship where we work on what we do together, you have to have that agreement in those relationships. It can't be a relationship where you don't have that agreement that you can do the work, correct? So this is not something I would do with somebody, for example, who was hurting me or abusing me or anything like that. This is a person that I love, I care for, and I want to risk being vulnerable with. So, of course, I went to that person and I said, that story of me is not true. It is an embellishment. And that did not happen. The circumstance did not happen that way. I did not do the thing that you say I did. And that person literally said, well, you're right. I probably was using the wrong example, or I was using the wrong, she said, I was using the wrong words. And I thought, well, that's wonderful for us to recognize that together, that you were using the wrong words because they didn't set well with me and they were the wrong words. So why don't we change the story together? And I'll tell you what happened for me and you can see if it matches the words that you would like to use to tell that story. And we had this marvelous reconciliation. And I was able to let go of my resentment. The loop stopped playing. I fell madly in love and deeper with this person. And basically that was a healing. Gossip can be very damaging. And I don't want to be the subject of someone's gossip. And it's okay if the relationship is not a committed relationship for you to just let gossip go and let those kinds of accusations go. But if it is a relationship that you're committed to, that you can grow into, it's worth standing up for yourself and straightening out the misunderstanding. It feels really good. Well, what happens if the relationships that we're in, that we're resenting or that we are accumulating anger and upset with, are not relationships that we are committed to? In fact, they're not even a relationship that's personal. It could be more of a relationship that has an impact on your personal life, but that you don't actually have contact with the person. For example, our politicians, or maybe someone at work where you're not in a personally committed relationship with, where you can't really face that person or you can't really do the work with that person, but we can still do the work within ourselves. We can look at what it is that is making us angry, and we cannot escape by doing a spiritual bypass. We cannot escape into forgiveness without feeling the anger first. We must feel the anger first. So the second thing we want to talk about is forgiveness is to be forgiving. And forgiveness is, again, healing as revealing. There's nothing to be healed, only God to be revealed. So how can we build bridges of unconditional acceptance for one another and for ourselves? Well, we can ask ourselves, is there an area in my life where I withhold love and caring? Oh my goodness. I've got to say that with the political drama playing out right now, I go straight to upset. I go straight to self-righteous indignation. I go straight to panic. I go straight to fear. I go straight into, the whole physical, mental, emotional, spiritual upset because of what I'm hearing or seeing. Because it doesn't match my values or my belief system. And I feel threatened by that. It's interesting that we can actually feel threatened by someone disagreeing with us. Now that work we can do interpersonally. That work we can go back to principle, and we can know for the truth, capital T, we can know the truth of our being, my values, my principles that I can rely on. I am love, I am harmony, I'm peace, joy, abundance. I am love. No one can take that. No one can threaten that. Why in the world for one moment did I think someone could? And that is my work. And so what is that about is to feel those feelings and then return to love. And then pour love into the situation. I'm pouring love into my country, to my brothers and sisters who are different than me. I'm pouring love into knowing the oneness of all life, that every sentient being is one with me, that we are absolutely correlated in unity from before time and before space. And when I remember that, I relax. I know this too shall pass. And I'm comforted, and I change my influence on others, and I'm empowered, and I take back my power, and then I offer that power to the world, and I change what's going on. Isn't that a beautiful thing? And so I ask myself, would I be willing to listen and hear what is said with an open mind and an open heart? Now, sometimes I cannot even believe what I'm hearing. And so while I'm listening to it, I return to an open heart. And what do I return to? Empathy and compassion. Oh my goodness. As soon as I do that, I recognize that the person that I'm listening to, perhaps we do not have shared values. We do not have shared beliefs. We do not even have shared behavior. But I have compassion and love and empathy that I can offer, that I can be forgiving, love and compassion. And all of a sudden, I feel so much better. And again, I know that the situation, circumstance, and condition that I'm experiencing right here and right now is going to resolve itself for the highest good of all, no matter what. That divine right action is in place, and that I can trust that. I can trust that. This is a faith walk down love lane. And so when I am tempted to dive into the alley of fear, I know how to get back on track. And so we can talk about this anger. We can talk about this anger, this way of forgiving. how we begin to forgive is that we, like I said, become forgiving. What can I give of myself? Now remember, this is not to invite harm onto ourselves. This is not that at all. This is to become forgiving, to take the high road and to feel better in our bodies and in our minds, to end our own personal suffering and to contribute to the community that of peace. To feel love as you would in crises when all is forgotten except extending your hand to save a life. I was watching a movie and there was a situation where there was dissension and there was aggravation, and then all of a sudden an emergency happened. An emergency happened where somebody fell into the water and needed to be rescued. And someone jumped in the water and rescued that person, saved that person's life, that person that they were just angry with and disagreeing with. But when push came to shove, we save one another. We care about one another. We are a human race. We are connected to one another. And this does not mean that we have to accept bad behavior by any means. What I'm saying is we don't have to contribute to it. When I contribute to bad behavior, I don't feel good. I don't want to do that. And I have the sense that in the next 2 weeks, I will be challenged to rise up 1,000 times again. And I want you to join with me. I want you to support me in that. We can do this together. So you hold the person you're angry with clearly in your mind. You can ask yourself what emotional shortcomings caused him or her to act that way. You see, you're not judging. You stop that condemnation and rather open to what could make that person behave this way? Or how about what does this person's behavior contribute to our highest good? And right now we are being exposed to our deepest wounds as a country. We are being exposed to systemic behaviors that must be healed. This is good news. And I can be grateful. You can join me in this practice of gratitude that something wonderful is happening here as we discover what needs to be healed, where God needs to be revealed. This is good news. If we could see beyond our own personal fear that something is going to be taken away, nothing's going to be taken away. No one can take your principles. No one can take away your God, your faith, your belief. No one can take away your life unless you believe it so. We do not have to be polarized in our beliefs. And we do this social media thing that I always say, social media is the best spiritual practice. Because a lot is happening on social media where we are reacting. I know some of us at this point have said, I'm just going to turn everything off. I'm turning off the TV. I'm turning off social media. I'm just going to go outside. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to go down to the river. I'm going to go to the ocean and put my toes in the sea. Whatever you need to do to back away from that, which is making us ill, do it, because we can contribute something much better, much higher. Forgiveness is a paradigm shift. It's a paradigm shift solution. And it liberates us. It liberates us from the trap of endless revenge. Forgiveness does more for you than anything else because it liberates you from negativity and lets you move forward. Isn't that the best news? Forgiveness might not make anger totally resolve or dissolve, but it will give you the freedom of knowing you are so much more. Resentment weakens while compassion elevates consciousness. So quickly, I have a couple of ideas for forgiveness. It means reconciliation in spite of estrangement. It means reunion despite hostility. It means acceptance of those who have been unacceptable. It means reception of those who are rejected. Forgiveness is unconditional, or it is not forgiveness at all. And that's Ernest Holmes. There are many cultures that do healing and forgiveness work together as a community. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian the Hawaiian ritual or process for making right the path. We often say a Ho'oponopono is an act of forgiveness. Really, what it is it's making right the path. So sometimes it has nothing to do with another person at all. It can be just making right the path. And you saw in the readings today a couple of things from Matthew 5 in the Beatitudes. I did post on Facebook the quote, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its flavor, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled on by people. You are the light of the world. A city located on a hill cannot be hidden." I just love that. You're the city. We're the city. We're the city. Our community, the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, is the city located on a hill, and it cannot be hidden. People don't light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before people so that they can see your good deeds and give honor to Spirit. And in retaliation, we hear an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the evildoer, but whoever strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other to him as well. And if someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your coat as well. You see where we're going here? We're not going to let the person doing the deeds affect who we are in the world, but rather we're going to affect the person doing the deeds with our love that builds a bridge. This is such good news that we can do for the next 2 weeks. You have learned also that you love your neighbor and hate your enemy, but I say to you, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be like God. Since God causes the sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? So then be perfect as your heavenly Spirit is perfect. Ernest Holmes wrote the Declaration of Principles. I use one every week. Today's is, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that goal is sure to be attained by all. And last, I want to talk about love can build a bridge. When I practice compassion for myself, I am better able to practice compassion for others. And this power of love is part of a greater consciousness. Are there situations happening in the world right now that can use a little bit more love? Or how about, are there a lot of situations happening right now that can use a lot more love? A little more compassion, a lot more compassion. Kindness. Resentment is the act of punishing someone for an offense, which is inevitably punishing oneself. Oh my goodness. How many times do we say this? What is happening in the outside world must be happening on the inside. Forgiveness is the act of compassionately releasing the desire to punish someone or yourself for an offense. And again, we must definitely feel the anger first. Feel it. Feel the injustice. We cannot do anything without first feeling what is going on. We can't do that spiritual bypass. Those of us that want to be spiritual prematurely by just rushing to compassion, I don't think that works. This week I've had more feels than most weeks. And of course, because I'm processing what's going on in the country, my personal life reflected that. I had several situations of dissonance in my family, not only with, my extended family, but my own children. I invited all of this so that I could heal this condemnation that I am spewing back into the world because of what's going on. I'm better than this. We're better than this. The best revenge is your triumph of not giving vindictive behavior any dominion over your peace of mind. The best revenge is your triumph of not giving vindictive behavior any dominion over your peace of mind. That's a lot to take in, isn't it? Did you know that people with higher functioning, higher intelligence shows higher dispositional forgiveness over time from both past and recent offenses? The feeling that most commonly encourages forgiveness are empathy and compassion. Did you know that the more intelligent, the easier to forgive? The more empathy, the more compassion, the more easy it is to alleviate suffering by extending love and compassion in the world. So can we have compassion for those who don't have that elevation of either intelligence or education or influence? Can we have compassion over those who think differently because of the way they live, the way they've raised, the way their culture is? Can we not blame, shame, and frame our brothers and sisters because they're different? Today, let us resolve to do the inner work. Will you join with me? I need your support. I want to be the best I can be in the next 2 weeks, using our principles, using this teaching that I've been with and in since early 90s. I feel like I've never been here before. In all my years, I have not needed to be the I am that I am more than right now. I need to pull from everything I know and believe in and trust and value to be good in the world. And what does it do for my body and my mind and my heart? It heals me. There's a reason why we are the peacemakers. There's a reason why we are forgiving, and what we're giving to the world is this teaching. Love, can build a bridge. Let us pray. And please stay for fellowship and see a practitioner for a 5-minute miracle. Please write your prayers to us on our website so that we as an ecclesiastic team can pray for a week, especially now. Reach out and benefit from our prayer work. It works. God Almighty, there is a power I am so grateful to recognize right now. I know prayer is powerful because my God is powerful. I know that my mountain is giant, bigger than any problem. That God is love and light and intelligence and harmony and peace. And in that, God is joy and abundance. That is who I am. That is who we all are. It doesn't matter what it may look like on the outside. We are sentient beings created by the Creator, creating creation. And so I know this for myself, and I know it for each of us, that I am powerful, that in any moment I can change direction, that I can take that high road, that I can journey down love lane and resist the temptation of diving into the alley of fear. I am safe in my beliefs. My values are true, unchangeable, non-negotiable, that I don't defer from that I keep my eye on the prize, that I constantly know who I am, and that I look at my brothers and sisters through the compassionate lens, through empathy, through forgiveness, that I am forgiving, and what I'm giving is love and light and the truth and the way. And that is to all that I give my love. I don't hold back. And in that power, in that presence, this world benefits. Our climate benefits. Our children benefit. All races, all cultures, wherever we were born, our animals, everything benefits from our love. Our health benefits. Our relationships benefit. And right here and right now, I declare and commit fully and precisely to practicing the principles in all that I say and do. And I am benefited. And I accept that benefit. I am grateful for that benefit. Something extraordinary is happening. Something wonderful is happening. Something giant is happening. And we are participants. We are influence. And I influence it with my heart and my love and my dedication and my devotion. And I know what to do at all times. And I'm so grateful for this prayer answered. I simply release my word into the law that knows exactly what to do, how to do it. And please celebrate and rejoice with me as we say, and so it is. Ashe. Shalom. Amen. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is J.D. Martin.
And I'm Jan Garrett.
And welcome to our living room once again. Today our song is called There's Another Way, and I wrote it with Chuck Jones, and Chuck is playing the amazing guitar.
All right.
Yes. Now, back to the moment. So this is our offering time, and we are offering you the opportunity to give. And we're offering you 3 different ways. And give with love, give with what feels good. So you can pay, go to our website at saccsl.org, and you can pay with PayPal, credit card, debit card, or you can mail a personal check to our address that is shown here on the screen. Sacramento, CSL, Post Office Box 1841 North Highlands 95660. So now for our abundance affirmation. Please let's say this together while we stay muted. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share and my willingness to share it, being in the flow of the law of circulation, knowing that my gift returns to me multiplied many times over. And so it is.
So I am teaching a foundations class, Spiritual Principles and Practices. It's 6 weeks, and it does qualify for a foundations class if you are on, for example, the practitioner track or need a certified foundations class to volunteer for our board or for a leadership position where we have our job descriptions that ask that you have taken foundations. This class qualifies. So you can literally take a foundations class for 6 weeks rather than for 12 weeks or 32 weeks. And we have one more week where we will allow students in. It's really fantastic. We have students from different places coming to this class. So it's not just our center. I'm partnering with the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, my colleague and friend, Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, in her center. So please come Tuesday mornings. This is a great class. You'll really enjoy it. The book is This Thing Called You, which people are saying is one of the best books Ernest Holmes wrote. So come join us. And that's it. Oh, and don't forget, for our events, our classes, our services, or our volunteer opportunities, or to donate, you can go to our website, Meetup, Facebook page, and learn all about what's going on. And that is it.
Please join us in our closing song while you are muted. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. You are my reflection. There is only one.
So our affirmation for the day is I am whole, I am healed, I am loved, I forgive, and I am forgiven. And now for our benediction. There is only one love, one creative spirit, and that was our message today. And as we take this message of love, of compassion, those individualized expressions of us, as we build the bridge, as we are that bridge together into the world, into our communities, into our homes, and into our lives. It is this bridge that is us of forgiveness and self-givingness, and we do this all in such gratitude for our life's journey, and we do this again from the base of one love and compassion. And for this I am so totally grateful. And as we go on for the rest of our day and our week, where we remain in this space of love and compassion. And so it is.
Oh, Linda, how beautiful. I just remembered when you first came to the center to where you are now as a leader. I'm just amazed. You are so amazing. It's just wonderful. So if we could have